Hey and welcome. Today we're diving deep into the absolute heart of programming. We're talking about functions. The fundamental building blocks that literally make all modern software possible. But to really get why they're so crucial, we gotta start with a problem that I think we all know too well.
But first, let me ask you this. In your job, or heck, even just around the house, have you ever felt like you're just doing the same exact thing, the same set of steps over and over and over again? It's boring, it's slow, and you know what? In the world of code, it's a total deal breaker. So here's the game plan for today. First, we're going to tackle that problem of repetition head on. Then, we'll get into what a function actually is and break it down piece by piece. After that, we'll uncover the real magic, the power of reusability, and see how this whole thing plays out in the real world.
All right, Section 1, the problem with repetition. And to really get this, I want to tell you a little story. Let's call it the tale of the very literal robot. So, picture this. You build this awesome robot to help you out, which is fantastic. And your first request is pretty simple. You're craving a smoothie. Easy enough, right?
Well, not so fast for our literal robot. You have to spell out every single step. Go to the fridge, get the fruit bowl, now get the ice. Rinse out the blender. Add the orange, the banana, and the pineapple. Blend it for exactly 20 seconds. Then pour it into precisely 2 glasses. It's a lot.
And here's the real kicker. The next day, when you want another smoothie, you have to give it that entire list of instructions all over again. And the day after that. And that right there, that's the heart of the problem with repetition in code. It's just so inefficient, and you're just begging for something to go wrong.
So you've got to ask yourself, there has to be a better way, right? A smarter way to do this? What if, instead of that whole long, boring list, you could just say one simple thing? Boom, there it is. The solution is one simple command: make smoothie function. See, this is a function. You teach the robot the recipe once, you give that recipe a name, and from then on, you just have to say the name. That, my friends, is the absolute magic of functions. Okay, so now that we've had that aha moment, let's jump into Section 2. What exactly is a function? Well, just think of it as giving your robot its very own recipe book.
So the official definition is that a function is a named pack of organized, reusable code that does one specific thing. The keywords there are named, organized, and reusable. It's a self-contained little package with a very clear job, just like our smoothie recipe.
Another way I love to think about it is this. A function is like a little machine. You put something in, let's call it an input X, the machine does its thing, and it spits something out, an output Y. It's simple, it's predictable, and it is incredibly powerful. All right, time to pop the hood on this machine. Section 3. The anatomy of a function. And yeah, we're sticking with our smoothie. We've got the ingredients, we've got the kitchen, and of course, the final drink.
First things first, the parameter. Now, this is just a placeholder in your function's recipe. It's the list of ingredient types you need. The recipe doesn't say you need a banana, it just says you need some kind of fruit and some kind of liquid. It's a blank space, telling the robot what kind of thing to expect.
Which naturally leads us to the argument. This is the actual stuff you use to fill in those blanks when you run the function. So if the parameter is the placeholder fruit, the argument is the banana and the milk you grabbed from the fridge today. It's the real specific ingredient.
Okay, let's put this side by side because this is a really common sticking point for people. On the left, in the recipe itself, you've got the parameters: make smoothie, fruit, liquid. It's a template. On the right, when you actually place your order, you've got the arguments: make smoothie, banana, milk. That's the real deal. So remember, parameters are the placeholders in the recipe, arguments are the actual values you use.
So the robot has the recipe. It has your specific ingredients. What happens next? Well, it gives you something back. That's the return value. It's the result of all the function's hard work. It's the actual, tangible thing you get, that delicious smoothie you wanted all along. It's how you get the result out of the function so you can use it.
And one last crucial piece of the puzzle is something called scope. Think of it like Vegas rules for your code. Any special measuring cups or temporary bowls you use inside the function to make the smoothie, they stay inside the function. This keeps your kitchen, your code, clean and makes sure the function doesn't accidentally mess with things it shouldn't. What happens in the function stays in the function.
All right, so all this technical stuff is cool, but what's the real payoff here? That's what we're talking about in Section 4, the power of reusability. This is it. This is the #1 rule of smart, efficient coding. And that rule has a name: the dry principle. It stands for Don't Repeat Yourself. It's a core philosophy in programming that says you should never, ever have to write the same piece of logic twice. If you have a set of steps, it should live in exactly one place and one place only, inside a function.
But why is this so important? I mean, what's the big deal? Well, let me tell you, maintenance becomes a dream. If you want to add spinach to your smoothie recipe, you change it in one place, not 50. Your code becomes way easier to read. You can develop faster because you're just grabbing building blocks instead of starting from scratch. And you get fewer bugs and way more consistency. It's a total game changer. Just look at this. On the left, we've got what we sometimes call wet code. Yep, write everything twice. The logic for checking if an email is valid is just copied and pasted all over the program. It's a nightmare to maintain. But on the right, with dry code, all that logic is neatly tucked into one function, validate email function. Now you just call it whenever you need it. So clean, so simple, so much better. Okay, let's bring it all home. Section 5, functions in the real world, and most importantly, your key takeaways from all of this.
So if you remember just 3 things from our chat today, make it these. Number 1, functions are just reusable recipes that save you from the nightmare of repeating code. 2, they use parameters as placeholders and arguments as the real values to stay flexible and useful. And number 3, living by that DRY principle, don't repeat yourself, is the secret to writing clean, professional code that's actually a joy to work with.
So, we started by saying functions are the building blocks of code. And now you know how those blocks work, how they fit together, and why they're so strong. So really, the only question left for you is, what are you going to build?